Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the inscrutable, the scandalous, the totally awesome Doctor. You can't suck it. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Tell your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you once again from my secret underground headquarters. And I'd like to wish you all a happy Rotation Eve. This is it. This is the last day. Tomorrow will be new cards, Dominaria United. And we'll say a fond farewell to Zendikar, Kaldheim, Strixhaven, and Forgotten Realms. Manlands, we knew you well, but no more. And so we've been going at it, rotation-proof decks for the last few days, just to provide you with something to play over the course of the next couple days while you build up your collection of Dominaria United. It's really hard to put out new decks when you don't have anything to play with, right? So today is yet another deck that is rotation-proof. But it's more than that. It was on the Platinum Mythic list. So this is also a good competitive deck. At least that's what it's trying to tell us. So let's take a look at this deck. We'll try to see what's in it, try to figure out what it's going to do, and then we'll take it out on the track and see how well it works. At the low end, we've got Dread Fugue, which for 1 mana allows you to take a look at your opponent's hand. Even if that's all it did, that is a great ability. It lets you know what's coming up, what you're working with. You could choose a non-land card from it with a mana value of 2 or less, and that player has to discard it. Now, if you could play, 3 mana, then it's any non-land card you can get rid of. So this card will do better later on in the game when you happen to have more mana. We got Voldaren Epicure. And I like this alternative art better. That's one of the reasons why I didn't play the old one. I didn't particularly care for the old art. For 1 mana, you get a 1/1. And as it comes into play, it does 1 P damage to each opponent. In Standard, we only play against one opponent, so your opponent. And you create a blood token, which allows you to pay 1, sacrifice it, tap it, and then you have to discard a card. It allows you to draw another card. That's a steep price, but on the other hand, you got nothing better to do, why not? Voltage Surge for 1 Ren mana does 2 points of damage to any target creature or planeswalker. If you sacrificed an artifact as well, you do 4 points of damage. So that's a grower as well. We got Tenacious D, aka the Underdog, who costs you 2 to put out, and he's a 3/2. His big deals anytime, as long as he's not being exiled, when he goes back to the graveyard, you can cast him from the graveyard for the Blitz cost, which is 4 mana, and you have to pay 2 life. And then as he comes into play, he's got haste, and he can attack that turn. At the end of the turn, then the creature is sacrificed, and you draw a card. So he's a little bit of a card draw engine, but man, is he expensive to do that. 4 and 2 life. Yeesh. We got the Bloodtithe Harvester. That's usually your second drop right there. He always ends up coming out early, too. I don't know what his deal is. But he's a 3/2, which is space awesome. And when he enters it, he gives you a blood token. If you could tap him when he's not blowing smoke rings, right? To sacrifice himself, target creature gets -X until the end of the turn, where X is twice the number of blood tokens you control activated as a sorcery. So he's a little bit of a bomb there. Between him and the Voldaren Epicure, you have the potential to take out some pretty large creatures. Meathook Massacre. So here's another one. If you could use this guy to get somebody down low, because that doesn't cost any mana once he's already out, just doubling up the number of blood tokens you have out, then you can use the Meathook Massacre to potentially wipe that and everything else out, which means the board is clear. And you'll get a bunch of life, and your opponent will suck it. Graveyard Trespasser costs you 3, you get a 3/3. She's got Ward, which they have to discard a card to be able to target this card at all, right? When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you exile up to 1 card from a graveyard. And if it happens to be a creature card, your opponent loses life and you gain a life. So there's a little bit of life gain for you there. If it's a werewolf version, then you do 2 cards. Once again, for each creature that is exiled, they lose a life, you gain a life. So they could be doing 2 points of damage and 2 life every turn as a wolf. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So in the first turn, you get out a 2/2 red goblin shaman token. Whenever it attacks, you get a treasure token. Great. Turn 2, you could discard up to 2 cards. If you do, you can draw that many cards. If you don't like what you got, this is a great way to get something else, right? And lastly, in turn 3, you put out Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, which is a goblin shaman who is a 2/2 as well. Now, for 1 and tap, you can copy another target non-legendary creature you control, except that it has haste and it has to be exiled, or you have to sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So, do we have things that we're going to be copying? Pretty much Thundering Raiju or Graveyard Trespasser. Those 2 things are probably great to copy. Nothing huge, though. We don't have any big creatures in this deck other than those 2. They both have 3s. This guy's haste. This gives haste. This guy would be haste 2. This one allows you to chew up graveyards. This one puts +1/+1 counters on your other creatures, as well as dealing damage directly to opponents, equal to the number of modified creatures you control. So I can see making copies of him, and it'd be really good. So we just talked about what Thundering Raiju does. This dude is a beast, and he comes out and goes to town. Hopefully, they won't just be able to chew up any 3/3 that comes at him. But, that's the game. We got Invoke Despair. This is your heavy hitter, right? Costs you 4 black mana, which in dual color decks is hard to get sometimes, unless you got a bunch of treasures. And we're not playing a lot of treasures here. In fact, do we get any? I'm not sure. Doing a quick scan here, see if we get any. Oh, yeah. The treasure troll from the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Anyways, so we get out basically 5 mana, drop it down. Your opponent has to sacrifice a creature, enchantment, and a planeswalker. And for each that they cannot do, then they lose 2 life and you draw a card. So it is a card draw engine generally. It helps you remove some troublesome stuff. Problem is it's their choice what they get rid of unless they only have one thing. At which point then they have to sacrifice that one thing. So in the land category, I got a man land in here. This guy does not belong in here, so do not play him. Sorry. That guy has to go. Because he is from Forgotten Realms, and he is not part of the rotation. That's easy enough. You just swap him out for a swamp, and you're good to go. There's another man land. Man. I'll just make sure I don't play them as creatures. So we got one. This one allows you, it's the Kamigawa black one that allows you to mill 3 and then take a creature from your graveyard and put it back into your hand. We got Mountain. We got the red one, which puts out hasty 1/1 spirit tokens, which in their way could be very powerful because they may not be expecting to have to defend against it. We got some great dual lands. These are my favorites, as a matter of fact. If you put them out in the first 2 turns, while basically the first 2 lands you put out, they're slow, but every time after that, they are fast. So that is my favorite dual land right there. And then we got our, you pick one or the other dual lands, which is actually pretty sweet too. But these are Kaldheim. Oh, sweet googly, these things are gone. All right, so anyways, these need to be adjusted. I'm very sorry. I will adjust my deck list so that this will be a rotation-proof deck list. But in gameplay, I will play with this as it is. Hopefully, it won't be too hard to work around. All right, so anyways, that is the deck. Let's take it out and see how well it does. And we're playing against Schloser. That looks right. I'm going to say Schloser, but I think they're trying to say Schloser. All right, 3 mana looks good. Bunch of good stuff. Let's keep it. I'm ready to throw down. Here's Mr. Magma Pants there. This vampire kind of reminds me of Alanis Morissette right there. Because you ought to know. Alright, let's go for number 2 here. We'll put out a black. And let's lay down the pain. No attacks. twice number of blood tokens. Let's put out the other black just so that we can go ahead and Meathook Massacre if we're ready for it. I don't see it though. Let's go in for the attack. Let's see what they're going to do. Not you though. Nope, that way around. Oh, look, we're doing Rakdos against Rakdos. All right, let's go ahead and get the Fable started. Land to the left, as the Lord intended. I kind of like what we got. Discard, huh? Tenacious Underdog can go in. Let's do that. Ooh. I don't have 5. We'll do this, though, and Thundering Raiju. We'll next our way in. I'll attack. Alright, there we got our treasure. Down to 11. Time to get the board wiped. Yeah, this guy is going to wipe the board in just a second. There we go. How to pay! Ooh, man, we are going to be laying it down like crazy. Except I need 4, and I do not have it, do I? You're going to have to find me another black mana here, deck. Don't be killing my guys. I see we're all playing that game, huh? Oh, what was this take? I'm not ready for it. Nope, I spent 0, that's the deal. Sorry. In your face, treasure whore. There we go. I want to know what despair is. And I want me to show you. Look at that. Do I really need that much mana? Jeez, people. I'm ready to do this now. Alright, red. Oh, look, another one. That was 4 in a row. Sweet, googly, moogly, people. Alright, that looks a lot like 6 to me. I guess who's going to die? Not me. Oh, you're so lucky. Let's put out one of these. Here we go. That just saved your life. Suckerfish. Oh, yeah, whatever. I really need to do is get a Meathook Massacre out. And if my dudes die, he takes it. Right. Oop, you got another one. Alright, let's go play the Meathook Death then. What, 4? Now let's do 5 for good luck. Guess who I got here? It's Alanis Morissette. Ow! Victory! Alright, playing against Superman. 4/7. Alright, 3 mana. Kind of wish I had 2 blacks, but I'm not going to pass up 3 mana. Whoa. I don't want to pass up an opportunity to go through somebody's hand early. What do we got? Doomscar, Tegrid. Alright, there's number 2, which is going to get us... Let's go ahead and put out the Tenacious D. Alright, so there's the Doomscar all cocked and ready to go. We'll put out our 3rd one. Let's go ahead and put out a Fable. Take it all in 3. Okay, I need to choke back on my creature putter outer. Maybe put out a nice Meathook Massacre would be really nice. He needs 2 white mana before he can clear the board. And he's scared to put out his own creatures because of it. There's a second one. So you can blow it any time, but I've only got 2 dudes out. Is he really all that worried? He is! Alright, let's play the game. No, I like what we got. I decline. Alright, so we need a second black. We're good with that. Let's Thunder. Thunder! Thunder Raiju! Oh! Alright, Elspeth, you go ahead and put a token on that for me. I'd like life gain, please. I'd like to know what death is. There you go, Elspeth. Have a good time. Alright, Fable! All attack. You gonna wipe the board again? Nope. Giving up. Winner, winner, victory dinner. Alright, we're playing against BlackScorpion. Alright, we've got 4 mana. Lots of black. Alright, let's keep this. Huh. Well, that's ways to go, but you can slam Alanis down here on turn 2. But I got what it takes. Just 1 more mana of any type will be able to invoke Despair. He doesn't want to wake. Don't sleep up. Wake up the baby. He's so cute. Look at him sleeping. I'm clicking on him, by the way. Nothing's happening. All right, here we go. You muted off or something? Nope, he's getting up now. Okay, here we go. 2 mana. Ow! Right to the kisser. Let's stretch it out there. I see that's an artifact, not an enchantment, so... Not really going to get a whole lot from it other than just some direct damage to me. Means you're planning on playing a lot of artifacts, though. Invoke Despair doesn't really go against artifacts at all. You look like you want to be killed. Yeah, they matched us up against Rakdos again. That kind of sucks. Let's see. I like what we got, so decline. All right, there's number 4. Let's give that guy a shot. And take it all in. Yeah, uppity Ghost Rider Dragon. Another one. Alright, well, I know what I'm doing this next turn. It involves killing another Blood Harvester. Come on, lay it out. You can do it. Oh, I see. BlackScorpion's holding this up, huh? Just gotta push the button, dude. There you go. I believe that you have to tap this guy. Yep, and he cannot be tapped. He's blowing smoke rings. Whatever. There's an impressive neck snap. I give you that. Beautiful artistry. Nice. Oh, man, how do I not play the Meathook Massacre? That's exactly how you do it. And that's going to come back to bite me in the butt. Oh, I'm at 6 anyway. That's cool. So, yeah, even if he gets a creature out, Invoke Despair is going to do at least 4. And then Voltage Surge will do the rest. He's up to 7 now. That sucks. Ah. All right, send in the people. Can he defend himself from this situation? All he has to do is prevent 1 point of damage, and he can live for a second, not realizing the voltage surge is in my hand. Oh wait, this one attacks creatures and planeswalkers. Okay, well then that wasn't going to help at all. Victory! Playing against mattyb, who cannot afford uppercase letters. We've got 2 mana. Let's keep it. All right, mattyb, let's go after your hand. You know you'll love it. Ledger Shredder. Yeah, you're lucky, because I was going after that one next. There's number 2, and... Delver of Secrets. Smid 0. And black's not going to get us anywhere. All right. Another mana would be really nice right now. There you go. Your sacrifice was well worth it. Two more mana so we can invoke Despair. That's a ways away. Alright, I'm going to Graveyard Trespasser. Let's kill something with meat on its bones. Go on for the attack. Let's go after Chandra. You want to give up the Delver for that? No. All right, let's Fable up. And we win. Victory. All right, we're playing against Gariah. Gariah. We got 4 mana. Keep it. And let's go after their hand. Battlefield Raptor. It's when you have a Battlefield Raptor out, it feels like nothing. When you're going up against a Battlefield Raptor, it feels like the freaking world. Alright, I'm looking forward to doing a Meathook Massacre. No, don't put out a 2. Don't pump that guy up. It's going to take me a while to get up to those levels. Alright, tell you what, here's a 3. Suck it! Alright, just keep him down low like that. Don't let him, getting bigger. So I need to sweep the board at a 2. You only got 2 mana, since you're not putting out a 3rd. It makes me believe that you are not in a great position. Dang it! Oh well, there's only one guy to fight then. I will block. One, 2. Autopay. You should have put out your 3rd mana up there. You got like a bunch of that. What are you choking on up there? Thundering Raiju, man. Yep. Alright, there we go. And we'll put out a single point of damage. No, I need that one to be able to put out the Thundering Raiju. Sorry, Blood Vial. I was going to totally drink you down. Oh, look at Snow White. He never wakes up no matter how much you pound on it. Don't wake the baby. Pass. Go on down, Charlie Brown. I'm going to do a little bit of red action here. I'll attack. Thunder. Thunder. Thundering. Raiju. Ho. There we go, down to 12. You coming after me, White Weenie? Whoop. I hope you feel the despair. 1. Beautiful. All right, we'll put out an Eye Tyrant. We'll throw out an Epicure. And all attack. Let's do that one. Nice. Finished. You were a good player, Gariah. Victory! Alright, so here we are with the Rakdos deck off of the Platinum Mythic list, which also happens to be rotation proof. Yes, rotation proof! Which means that being that this is the last day of the old rotation, that you can continue to play this deck into the future. And it is a deck worth playing. So let's talk about who are the heroes here. You know, to me, it was Thundering Raiju, because when he comes into play, things get serious. Invoke Despair was just such a gladness in my heart when I had those and the mana to play it. And this deck seemed to provide it. I mean, there's 4 of them in here. Sometimes it doesn't seem like you get too many Invoke Despairs. This one seems to be just pushing it out like it just wants to, as though the algorithm has been updated to make sure that Invoke Despairs are coming into your hand more times than not. You know, the rest of the deck is very good as far as support goes. You know, it does its thing. Meathook Massacre does a very good job of massacring like a meat hook. So I was happy with its performance. The big guy, I guess here's the deal. This guy is a gigantic wuss. Just gigantic. And sure, you get an extra point of damage, and he's a guy that can swing in for 1, and he gives you a blood token. It's just that, you know, after you get that initial pop out, he's just a whole lot of nothing. And I guess that's okay. You don't need to sacrifice anything, but just sometimes you just need to not care about some guys you have. And these are guys that once they come into play, I could care less about them. They provide all the value they do when they come into play, and everything after that is just meat. And I'm sorry to say that, Mr. Epicure, or Ms. Epicure, but you're not doing it for me as being somebody I really want to keep around. We don't got a bunch of creature pump in here. I mean, Thunder Raiju helps out with that. You know, whatevs. So let's give this thing a rating. The question is this thing competitive? On my personal list for today, I've got an 89% win rate out of 9 matches. So that means out of those 9 matches, I lost 1 time. And the other 8 were all aces. So we got 89%. And I got this off the Platinum Mythic list, so this one is a competitive deck. Number 2, is this deck fun? It is a rager, I'll tell you that. It's a deck that it wants to fight. It wants to just go for the throat. And it's got a certain amount of control that allows you to keep going. It's definitely not a late game deck. If you make it past mid game, you are going to you're just going to die. It's not going to hold up well. I mean, the only way that would be an issue is if you're playing against another one of pretty much the same deck, and they just can't seem to get the upper hand on each other, and eventually one of you wins because you're in the late game. Probably the person who goes first. But anyways, is it fun? I'm going to say, yeah, it can. It's got a definite fun quality to it. But it's definitely, early to mid game fun. And then lastly, is it interesting? No. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say that it's got any interesting pits to it. Not a whole lot of synergy or anything like that. It doesn't have, it's not like a big thinker deck. You're not really doing a whole lot with it. It's just, you're just playing, it's just whip out your guns and go for it. So yeah, this deck is going to get higher ratings for being competitive. And I gotta say, yeah, Invoke Despair always is fun. So this is definitely a fun competitive deck. It's just not for the thinkers out there. So all you Izzet players, if you're looking to play something that's quick, this might be a good deck, just in case you're just a little tired today. But yeah, this one's not, it's not a whole lot of like braingasm going on with this one. So I'm going to give this one just a solid A, no A+, solid A. It's a good deck. It's a fun deck, not super interesting. So if you so choose to play with this deck, I hope you have as much fun with it as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.